Are cheap hearing aids any good? This was a question I was asked by a gent recently who was rather shocked when he realised a top-of-the-line device could be 3 times the price of an entry-level device. So coming up, I'm going to tell you whether or not an entry-level device is worth consideration. Hi, my name's Matthew Pearson from Zone 1 Hearing in London, and over the years I've had the pleasure and privilege of helping thousands of people from all over the world hear better. So if you'd like to learn all about the latest hearing aids, accessories, apps and other assistive devices, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe and press the bell for notifications so you hear about when our latest video is released. I did some research recently on a number of entry-level devices and felt the Bernafon Viron 1 receiver in the canal hearing aids represented particularly strong value. So I'm going to tell you about the features and the benefits that you can enjoy from under £1,000 a pair depending on the supplier you choose. Firstly, an automatic program. If you've worn entry-level hearing devices in the past previously, you'll be used to switching manually from different programs to hear better, such as speech in quiet, to speech in noise, to comfort in noise, and so on as you move from one environment to the other. Because of this, users can often select the wrong program, affecting the performance of the aid. This isn't necessary with the Bernafon Viron 1 due to its continuous environment detection. They calculate across 24,000 data points of the listening environment every single second, so they continuously analyse the environment that you are in. The aids feature a no environment classification rule in their automatic program. Bernafon believes that the different environments we encounter are so dynamic that they cannot classify every single one. So with their automatic program, as it continuously adapts in real time, you don't suffer from any delay, no speech lag, no whistling, no sudden increases or decreases in amplification when you move from one environment to the other. Next we have dynamic noise reduction. The Viron 1 hearing aids understand different types of noise that you encounter, such as low frequency or modulated sounds, and suppress them as they understand the difference between things such as planes, trains, cars, buses, dogs barking. The Viron 1s know those noises and actively act to suppress them. Next we have dynamic speech processing. After understanding where the sound signals are, continuous environment detection, and understanding if there is any noise in those sound signals, which is dynamic noise management, the dynamic speech processing now knows the exact correct amount of amplification to provide at that point in time, which is called phonemic compression. An example being when the person hears the word bus, it comes out as bus, so giving equal emphasis to each syllable and even suppressing noise in between those different syllables. The Viron 1s make 20,000 different amplification adjustments per second in their channel-free processing. All other digital hearing aids break the sound into different channels. So this means the Viron 1 offers clear, precise processing of sound and the signal taking the noise into account. So next, they are a made for iPhone device. So once the hearing aids have been connected to the user's iPhone, they are able to take phone calls through the hearing aids, giving a much improved sound, better clarity. They can listen to YouTube content or podcasts through them, listen to directions from maps, and use the facility called Live Listen, which turns their microphone on their iPhone into a remote mic, so giving them the benefit of being able to hear people at a distance more easily. Next we have tinnitus sound support. If amplification alone doesn't suppress the user's tinnitus sufficiently, if they are unfortunate enough, of course, to suffer from that, which is often heard as a high-pitched whistle, which is pretty annoying, I know, then the Viron 1 can produce a masking noise, such as white or pink noise, which can provide extra relief from the tinnitus sound. As an alternative, the aid can provide environmental sounds, such as waves, which can be used via a button on the device or via the free app. Next is the availability of lithium-ion rechargeability. The charger isn't portable, unfortunately, but it is simple, so more of a bedside table design, so no lid to open, so easy to put the aids in and easy to remove, and as it's in the same place all the time, there's less likelihood of the hearing instruments being lost. So when you take the aids out of the charger, they automatically switch on, and when you put them back in the charger, they automatically switch off. So no fiddling around with any buttons. The lithium ion battery will take you through an entire day, even with streaming being taken into account. And a quick charge will allow you to go for several additional hours if you did need to top up, if there's ever a requirement to do this. The lithium ion battery can also be changed by the audiologist, so wouldn't need to go back for a repair if it ever did need changing, which does give you some additional convenience and reassurance as well. Next, the feedback manager. The previous generation, called the Zarina, had a feedback manager which was particularly well known for being a very strong feedback system. But the system found in the Viron works 10 times more quickly and is so efficient, some people have complained that their way of knowing that their hearing aids are working and switched on is that they would put their hand over the ear and that feedback would tell them that the aid was working. And because the feedback manager on the Viron is so strong, they can barely hear a peep out of the hearing aid. So I guess a nice complaint to have, but it means you can certainly push the hearing aids very hard and they don't pose a problem. And that embarrassing issue you can experience of being in a public place and having whistling coming from your hearing aids should be a distant memory of the past. So next, auto REMs or automatic real ear measurements. So would you prefer an average ear estimate or a real ear measurement? Why are real ear measurements important? Real ear measurements are important because it's our hearing aid's intensity or volume and frequency response or pitch which are affected by the ear. When a hearing aid manufacturer creates a hearing aid to decide how to program it, they do this based on only one size of ear, so based on a dummy. Without the use of real ear measurements equipment, it's likely that anyone hearing aids are receiving either too little or too much amplification at different frequencies and pitches. A probe microphone or real ear measurement system is the only way to confirm the appropriateness of hearing aids amplification levels and resulting output across frequencies for a range of input levels at the tympanic membrane, otherwise known as the eardrum. Auto REMs or automatic real ear measurements are designed for those very busy audiology clinics or to encourage those audiologists less familiar with manual real ear measurements to get the majority of the extra accuracy of a manual real ear measurement, but much more quickly and more easily. Bernafon offers this facility with a number of leading manufacturers' audiometers, making it very accessible to a large proportion of the audiology community. After using the AutoRem facility at Zone 1 Hearing, the Virons have given us such great feedback as, I don't think I've ever heard this well, I don't think I've heard this well since I was a child, or I've had hearing aids fitted for me on a number of occasions and I've never heard this clearly. One thing to leave with you is one study which I will link below, which measured hearing aids fitted using just the regular fitting computer software. So 6 top-of-the-range devices from various different manufacturers, and pitched them against one system which was analog and had omnidirectional microphones but was fitted using real ear measurements. I hate to say it, but the analog hearing aid did outperform every one of the top of the range digital hearing aids which were equipped with the latest features. So this does go to prove a hearing instrument is only ever as good as the information it contains within it. So thankfully, when the top of the line digital hearing aids from the different manufacturers were fitted using the real ear equipment, they did thankfully start to perform far better and outstrip the performance of the analog aid. So next we have the app. So the app, which you can download from both the Google Play Store for Android phones, of course, and the iOS version on the App Store for Apple phones, allows you to turn up and down the hearing instruments, adjust them individually, select different listening modes if you've got them programmed in. So I'll put some examples of the screen of additional programs that I've put on my demonstration sets. You can select the iPhone microphone if you want to use that live listen facility to hear someone at a distance. and also you can look at troubleshooting tips, and you can have the programs renamed for you, which will appear on the app. So I'll show you those. So really nice feature to help you identify them, and also you can have verbal modes. So I've put there's a telecoil mode I've put on there. There's a mask mode where I've boosted the frequencies which you'd be affected by if someone was wearing a mask. Next is the sound clip A. This is a multi-purpose accessory. It's a microphone for hearing a conversation partner in a more challenging environment or where distance is involved, such as a lecture. It's also a remote control and a wireless streamer. So if you've got an Android phone, it will give you a proper hands-free experience. And some iPhone users also use it for that very reason. Even if the phone was in another room, it still allows you to take the call, so it gives you a much further range than the MFI facility does. I'll put a link down below so you can learn a little bit more about that. So that's a really good feature. So next is the TV streamer. Now, it's hard to overemphasize how immersive, convenient and impressive a TV streamer can be. One simple measure is that we virtually never get one returned. Also, when people add one on to their existing hearing system at a later date, the comment we often hear is, "I wish I'd done this when I got my hearing aids. It feels like I've gone to the cinema." Next is the telecoil program. This is to make use of places or devices which have the loop system. These can be found in a variety of public buildings such as churches, theatres, banks, post offices. You do get them in some landline telephones also. You can find the loop at shop counters. So by switching into this mode, it allows you, for example, if you're in a cinema or theatre, to feel as if the actors come down off the stage or the screen and speak straight into the hearing aid. And you can get access to this mode simply by pressing a button on the aid, or you can use the smartphone app or the iPhone front screen, which you'll have had set up. So very easy to use, and although it's a tried and tested system, very, very useful. Now, if you weren't aware, with any receiver in the canal hearing aid, you can use Vanish Hide My Hearing Aids to make the receiver wire even more discreet. So this is a special hearing aid wire dye that can provide 9 different skin tone colours to make the wire on your receiver in the canal device even more discreet. And that's something that we can offer at Zone 1 Hearing for our patients who visit us here, and it can be shipped direct to patients who live in the United States. So really great thing. Suggest you have a look at the link that I'll provide for you on that one. So you can probably guess my answer to the question. If you are someone who is thinking, if I can't have the best, I'll have nothing at all, then in our opinion at Zone 1 Hearing, it is definitely worth trying an entry-level system. When it comes to hearing aids, even if you buy the best, it's only the best until a newer, better system is released. And even that top-of-the-range system is only as good as the audiologist who programs it. So please bear in mind you probably don't apply that same strategy to any other area of your life. So it would be a real shame to delay the pleasure of hearing better for the sake of what is a relatively small investment. So our advice always is, as soon as it's practical, visit your audiologist, have a full hearing assessment carried out for you, including pure tone audiometry and quick-syn speech testing, and as a minimum from there you'll be able to see what devices are appropriate for you, and if you need hearing aids, and what assistive devices, we mentioned a couple here, might be appropriate for you. And most hearing aid providers, I'm sure, will be happy to let you try a device, and if that isn't successful, to swap it for something else. So really, there is no time like the present. The best time for you to do this, let's be honest, it was probably about 10 years ago, but the next best time for you to do it is going to be right now. So this is Matthew Pearson from Zone 1 Hearing. Have a fantastic day, and we hope to see you on the next video. Thank you very much.